Humans have tried to communicate with each other since the beginning of our existence, and we have used images in that communication. This petroglyph is found among the sandstone cliffs along a wide riverbank in Colorado. I can see an elk, many bighorn sheep, and hunters with bows and arrows. Even across the expanse of time and circumstance, I have a glimmer of understanding as to its meaning and significance. I think the words meaning and significance are important. I try not to photograph what I see. I try to photograph what I feel about what I see. I photograph what has meaning and significance to me. I photograph what is emotionally powerful to me. One foggy morning during elk breeding season, I witnessed a bull elk's small harem of cow elk being stolen by another bull elk. About 20 minutes later, I saw the first bull elk searching for his stolen harem. The search was plaintive as he called to them and searched in the increasingly heavy fog. It's easy to photograph an object, that is, the elk. But how do you take a picture that conveys the feeling of the elk searching for its lost harem? I watched the bull elk for about an hour as he searched. Finally, I got this shot. Every element of this shot is meant to convey the sense of loss and the enormity of the task the bull elk faces in regaining his harem. The cool blue color, the size and position of the elk, the towering wall of dense fog. This is how I hope to convey the meaning and significance of what I saw. Here are two instances where I communicated poorly. I was in southern Colorado in autumn 8 years ago. I was in a somewhat melancholy mood, in the same manner that the beauty of a sunset is also the herald of darkness. The beauty of autumn is the herald of the cold and harsh winter. Here are two photos that I took. You probably don't have a strong emotional reaction to these images. That's because these are pictures of things, not feelings. I liked the ponderosa pine, the brilliantly colored aspen, and the interspersed spruce. I liked the meandering creek, the red willow along the bank, and the fading gold of the aspen in the distance. That's why I took the shots. But I had no emotional clarity when I took those images. I could hear the earth whispering, but I didn't know what she was saying. If I'm unable to understand what I'm feeling while I'm there in the moment, immersed in the sound of the birds and the wind, the feel of the warm sun, the visceral beauty of the broad vista, then there is no hope that the image will resonate with you, who have no other access to that moment except through the photograph. It's a rule of photography and a rule of life. Without emotional clarity, I can't communicate. I looked at these images last week while preparing this video. In doing so, these years later, I found a portion of one image that resonates with me. It's the last bit of gold in the last days of autumn. In this image, as beautiful as it is, I sense the wheel of time spinning inexorably toward the harshness of winter. This is the shot I should have focused on 8 years ago. What I should have seen, not only for what it was, but for what it meant. The trick, as a landscape photographer, is to feel, clearly and unambiguously, the story of the earth as it unfolds, and compose a shot that represents those feelings. Let me tell you one last story that I hope will pull this all together. A couple of years ago, I was in the Faroe Islands, at a tiny village called Gásadalur, with an impressive waterfall named Múlafossur, both of which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. As beautiful as the wide-angle image was, I was also fascinated by the seagulls that swooped and dodged around Múlafossur, sometimes alone, but often in groups of 2 or 3. I pulled out my telephoto lens and spent about 20 minutes photographing them. My technical strategy was simply to focus on the falls, set the speed to about 1/1000th of a second, with a minimum aperture, and take a picture every time I saw a seagull in the camera's viewfinder. I took nearly 200 shots in all. What struck me, what was so compelling, was that the seagulls seemed to swirl around the falls for the simple, visceral pleasure of it, intoxicated by the pure joy of movement. Sometimes they reminded me of children playing tag or racing each other around the falls. There was a game we used to play when I was a child called Duck, Duck, Goose. Maybe the seagulls are playing it, renamed to Duck, Duck, Gull. Okay, I apologize for that. Sometimes the gulls are braver, flying close to the falls while skimming just above the waves of the North Atlantic. Now it wasn't a game of tag, it was a roller coaster ride. Sometimes there was a melancholy feel, a single gull playing alone like the last child on the playground, the day nearly done, but still not wanting the experience to end. 3 moods, 3 stories. How do I portray them? Here are some images that remind me of children playing tag. So here's the question. What qualities of the photo best convey that feeling of children at play? Well, I want to show the gulls interacting with each other, so I want them to be in relatively close proximity. I also want the gulls close to the waterfall. It's the focal point of their game. In 2 of the images, a gull gets visually lost in the falls. I can solve this by cropping to make the gull larger and placing the gull in the center of the image, but then I lose the majesty of the waterfall. I don't want to do that. In the end, I settle on this image. This image has a lot of negative space. Does it add or detract to the story? I can make the theme of this image simpler and clearer by cropping it. Here's the final result. To me, it tells the story clearly and beautifully. How about the second story? Here are the images of the gulls swooping low over the ocean. To tell this story, I want the waves to be dramatic. This is a roller coaster ride. These 6 images are the best candidates. I think about cropping. Most of these images become more dramatic by cropping in closer. In the end, I choose this image. It tells the story effectively, but it also has a beauty that the others lack. The long line of the falls intersects the white cap of the wave to provide a focal point for the circling gull. It's the long line that gives the image a sense of elegance and majesty. I have trouble explaining it. It's a feeling. The third story is the isolated seagull, playing alone as the day is ending. Here are some images. I want to show as much as I can the long line of the waterfall and the vastness of the scene. I want a feeling of isolation. I want the gull away from the center of the image and interacting with the falls. I want a lot of negative space. Here's an image that interests me a lot. I like the long sweep of the coastline. I like that the waterfall is to the right of center and the gull is further right. That positioning gives a feeling of isolation. I like the vaguest hint of the dark rocks of the coast and the muted green of the moss. In the end, this is the image I settle on. Notice that nearly all of the visual interest is in the bottom center of the image. The rest of the image is what creates the feeling of vastness and isolation. The backdrop for the gull is the ocean rather than the rocks of the coast. That lends a feeling of intimacy between the gull and the water. This is my favorite image of the evening. It tells the story that I want to tell. So here are the 3 images, each telling a different story, and each with a different feel. I remind myself that the stories are not mine. They are never mine. The stories belong to the earth, but they are mine for the telling. For me, that's where the joy comes in. To be privy to the stories and to share them with others. Thank you for watching this video.